Hey, kiddos, Pastor Mark here to talk about our character word for this week, courage. Can you think of some jobs that require a lot of courage? I can think of a few for sure. Police officers, firefighters, soldiers, beauty queens. Whoa, wait. Did I just say beauty queens? I did indeed. There's a story in the Bible where a woman who won a beauty contest showed a lot of courage. Let me tell you about her. The king of Persia wanted to marry the most beautiful woman in his kingdom, so he held a beauty pageant. The woman who was crowned the winner was named Esther, and she became queen. Now, you would think that this story would end happily ever after right there. But there was a big problem. Esther was Jewish, but the king and his people were not. And those who believed in the one true God of Israel were often killed for their beliefs. Esther had to hide the fact that she was Jewish from the king. Now, the king had an advisor named Haman. Haman hated the Jews so much that he asked the king to sign a decree or a law that all Jews living in Persia should be put to death. Little did he know that also meant Esther, the queen. When Esther's cousin Mordecai found out about Haman's evil plan, he pleaded with Esther to talk to the king about it. Now, back in those days, a queen could not speak to the king unless he sent for her. In fact, she could be put to death if she approached the king without an invitation. Yikes. Of course, Esther was very afraid to talk to the king, but Mordecai encouraged her to have courage. How about it, kids? Would you have the courage to approach the king? Now, courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you push through that fear to do what is right and true. At this point, Queen Esther made a very wise decision. She asked Mordecai to tell the people to pray and fast, that is, go without food, for 3 days. She and her servants did the same. Only then did she receive courage from the Lord to move ahead. Now, she planned a big banquet for the king and invited Haman to attend too. Haman was very arrogant. He thought he was going to be honored for his plan to do away with all the Jews. Boy, was he in for a surprise. During the banquet, Esther confessed to the king that she was a Jew and told him how Haman had tricked him into signing the law that would kill all of her people. Oh boy, did that make the king angry. He ordered Haman to be killed instead of the Jews. He then issued a decree to keep the Jewish people safe. God gave Esther great courage, and God used that courage to save her people. Kids, do you have the courage to stand up for God and do what is right like Esther did? You know, God gave Jesus great courage when he was sentenced to death by wicked men. But after suffering on the cross for our sin, Jesus rose from the dead to prove his power over death itself. If you trust him with all of your heart, he will walk beside you as your forever friend and give you the courage to make right choices, God's choices. And always remember this, God loves you, and so does Pastor Mark.